Alrighty, guys, here we go. We're getting things set to figure out what we're doing here. Alright, so I did change the background this time, but for some reason the microphone wouldn't work. So, anyways, tear to shrink time. We're gonna tear the shrink wrap off Descent. The Descent, Aeon Zen. I love me Aeon Zen. I really, really like this system. Unfortunately, it's been so long since I played it. All my games are buried behind stacks and stacks of games, so I'm really looking forward to getting this one because this way I'll be able to play it again. I played it on Tabletop Simulator a few times as well, so that's always a good thing. But we're going to find out what's in the box this time. This is the new Aeon Zen that just was released, so let's get to it and see what's in the box. First thing we got to do is get rid of this terrible, awful, nasty, glary shrink wrap. Look at how much better that looks without the shrink wrap on it, huh? Look at how much better that looks. Unfortunately, the value just went down because it's now opened. But anyways, Aeon Zen, The Descent. Let's take a look at the back before we open the box. Alright, so, here we go. What do we got here? 14 and up, 1 to 4 players, 60 minutes. I play solo, two-handed, so that's what I do. Aeon Zen, The Descent in the Golden Age of Greyhold. Brahma thought her city would last forever, but how did humanity find this citadel below the surface? This haven away from the nameless scourge that ravaged the surface of the world. Join Brahma, still young and idealistic, as she attempts to lead a ragtag band of survivors to a city of salvation. What dangers await them on their pilgrimage, and what will they be forced to sacrifice for the sake of their new home? Discover the terrifying original story of Greyhold itself in Aeon's End, The Descent. Alrighty, so we've got where it all begins, top 100 on Board Game Geek, Aeon Zen, War Eternal, Legacy, The New Age, Outcast, Legacy of Greyhold, Past and Future, Aeon Zen, Friends and Foes. Friends and Foes is a module for Aeon Zen. You can choose to add this content to your existing Aeon Zen content. If you want to make this game easier, you can add the friends and not the foes. If you want to make the guard harder, do the opposite. To use this module, follow these instructions. Friends and foes. Alright. Aeon's End, The Descent, the narrative booklet. There's a bunch of text. I'm not going to spoil anything. It's just probably the information you read before you go on the adventures. Yep, okay, so I'm not going to spoil anything there. Aeon Zen, The Descent. Alright, so we got new rules. If you're familiar with Aeon Zen, check out the yellow boxes. We're quite familiar with Aeon Zen. We played it a few thousand times. I'm not seeing it. Oh, there's a curse deck. Okay, that's... Sure, when you get cursed, you add a curse card. Sure. Simultaneous effects. Elemental tokens. Okay. Alright, a few new things. And when a player gets defeated, when you cause a minion to be discarded from play, you have defeated the minion. Some minions have a defeated effect. This effect is resolved by the player who defeats the minion. Okay. End of Expedition Rule Booklet. That looks pretty good artwork there. That's pretty nice, huh? So this is at the end of the expedition and how to, like, probably, this rule booklet will teach you how to set up and play your next expedition. All Aeon content can be used in expedition mode other than the content excluded at the end of the campaign book for Aeon's End's Legacy and Legacy of Greyhold. Alright, well, we'll look at that when we get to it. Before opening any of the decks, please read this. We'll keep that out. We got envelope 4. Oh, it's a big one. It's a big one. Can't peek in it. We can't even peek at it. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. That's cool. Oh boy, look at that. It just fell right apart. Manifest token for Lazon. Health tokens. We have shield tokens. Venom. Immolate, Electrify, two-sided. We have all of our normal counters, our turn order track, gold, nemesis tokens, power tokens, charge tokens. And then, of course, the crux of the game, which is going to be your decks. So, you got your breaches. You got your nemesis dial for hit points. You have Greyhold. Hit point dial. We've got the Swarm, Call to the Hive. Delana, the healer. We have some of our mages. And the first nemesis we're going to go up against, the Infector. Alright, setup. Shuffle all the infection cards together and place them face down to form the infection deck. So he's infecting us with bad, nasty, yucky things. And then unleash. If the infector has 0 nemesis tokens, it gains a nemesis token. Then reveal the top card of the infection deck, and the player with the fewest infections gains that infection. Otherwise, each player resolves all of their infections, and the infector loses a nemesis token. Increased difficulty, the players collectively gain 3 infections. Additional rules, infections stay in front of the player permanently. If a player would gain an infection and cannot, each player resolves all their infections instead. When a player is exhausted, any player gains 2 infections instead of unleashes twice. Ooh. That seems pretty nasty. We've got a choice of 4 heroes for you guys to start the game. We have Brahma. Let's do it one at a time here. Brahma. Actually, what I think I'm going to do, because everyone would really like this, I think. We're actually going to zoom in a little bit more if we can. There we go. All right. And let me close this window so I can see now. All right, Brahma, the leader. This is a young Brahma. We've seen old Brahma with the purple cloak or whatever it's called. Shaw. Maybe it's a Shaw. She has a starting hand 4 crystals and a fungled rag, and then her starting deck is going to be 3 crystals, an Imperium, and a Spark, and regenerate. Activate during any player's main phase. Gain 4 life. You may suffer 2 damage. If you do, Greyhold gains 4 life. So 5 for her special ability. And there's her information if you want to put it on pause and read it later. The other thing, the camera likes to autofocus and then Yeah, I guess it is about as focused. I wanted to see if it would focus better than what it is. Yeah, I think yeah, we'll just leave it on autofocus. That's fine. That's fine. It's not that bad. It takes a second when it's black and white text like this. It doesn't like that, to be honest. There's a nice focus there. If you want to pause it and read her backstory, go ahead. All right, next up we have Janti. She starts with 4 crystals and 1 redirector. Starting deck, 4 crystals and a spark. Interlace, active during your main phase. Gain the top card of the infusion deck and place it into your hand, or destroy an infusion in play. If you do, deal 8 damage. Whoa, that's pretty nice. Well, let's see if we'll get the camera to zoom in on this a little bit. Here we go. All right, not too bad. All right, you can pause this on YouTube later if you want. All right. Next up is, in a second, once I get everything organized. All right, it is Lazon, maybe it's Lazon. Starting in is 3 crystals, 1 unsealed essence, 1 spark. Starting deck is 3 crystals and 2 sparks. Manifest monstrosity, activate during your main phase. Place the manifest token on your player mat so that it covers this ability and resolves its immediate effect. You cannot activate this ability again this game, so it must be something good if you could only do it once per game. And it costs 6 to charge up. That must be really powerful. I don't know what it does. There's her backstory. Complexity rating of 6. One thing we didn't look at was the complexity rating for Brahma is a 2. She's pretty straightforward. For Janti here, she is a complexity of 5. For Lazon, he is a complexity of 6. And finally, not to be outdone, we have Therax. Therax? Therax? I'm not sure. Starting in 3 crystals, 1 infuser, 1 spark. Starting deck, 4 crystals and a spark. Reality Warp. Activate during any player's main phase. That player focuses a breach. Then you gain a card from the supply that costs up to twice the focus cost of their opening breach with the highest focusing cost. Or the player has no closed breaches. Deal 8 damage. That's pretty nice. Once everyone gets all their breaches, I mean, 8 damage is serious work. All right. Again, we got a couple extra cards here. Now's probably a good time to zoom back out. Since we zoomed in, let's zoom back out. All right. We got our envelope. Oh, my God. Look how thick these envelopes are. There's a boatload of stuff in these things. Well, envelope number 3. Uh-oh, my 3 is open. Look at that. I did not break that seal, people. I do not want anyone accusing me of cheating and looking. You can see it was not sealed very well. Just barely sealed at all. Maybe it's because it's jammed back with stuff. Look at that. It can't even close it. We have our separator cards. which is going to have all the different things. It's nice. It's good. Yay. And then our open breeches, which I'm going to open this as well because we might be trying this out here. So there's those. You have this. All right. Some special breeches here for somebody. Somebody gets a special breech. Oh, one thing we didn't check was the complexity rating of Thorax. He's a 3. Thorax. Thorax. Alright, so this is that. All the branches. 4. Okay, we're good. We should be good. The dials. Put this front of stop. This is the front of stop 4 deck. This is the front of the stop 3 deck. We got the 2A and B. The 1A, B, C, and D. So it's probably to set up the game with the enemy or the market and probably the nemesis and player cards and probably the, I don't know, market or something. So that's probably all going to come into play. Alright, so that's what you get. That's what's in the package. If you are familiar with Aeon Zen, you're probably familiar with everything we just went over. 200 deck, randomizers, the infectors, Full the Swarm, and Friend Dahlia. And then, of course, your envelopes, where you're going to need to go on to mission 2, 3, and where's mission 4? Oh, 4 doesn't fit because it's too big. Right, that's right. Couple dials. You get this stuff. Some baggies you're going to need. And this is going to be your sheet on open 1A. Set the decks out. Find the player mats. Give each player a player mat. Blah, blah, blah. It kind of walks you through everything you're going to need to set up the game. And there you go. The rule booklets, Friends and Foes expansion, and your breeches, your envelopes, and all you'll need to do is, actually, probably should put these like that. We'll just have to punch out a couple little things of tokens, and you should be ready to go. And your rule booklets. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And you're done. Alright, there you go. That's a look at Aeon Zen the Descent. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here. Tell all your friends. Let them know what we got going on here on the channel. And see if we can get up to 5,000 subscribers. Alright, we'll see everyone then. Until then, take care, have a good day, and we'll see you tonight. Bye for now.